Good afternoon, Mike the MC, bringing another self-care video. And in this weekly reflection for the whole week, I'm just going to share with you one thought that kind of hit my mind today to kind of summarize the whole feeling of how I felt this week went. And overall, I thought it was a great week in general, sharing more ideas about how to basically give of yourself, to be creative, to have a purpose, to know God in different ways, through man, through the world, through other ways of knowing him, of course. But to me, the one thing that kind of hit me today after being at a church meeting, I was thinking, can I save everybody? And is that my job? And I was just thinking of that. And I was wondering, well, I mean, I would love to save as many people as I can, in the sense that, okay, we all can go to heaven for sure. But when I don't connect with somebody that could have been at that meeting, or that possibly was had a chance to be there, but I was not able to help that person, how many of us feel maybe a sense of guilt, but also maybe thinking, I did what I could, I set out the invite, and maybe people just weren't able to make it just because of circumstances. And honestly, this one was outside of my control with poor internet. And I was just wondering, okay, not to blame myself too harshly, because I'll say this: we can all try to play hero, but we cannot be the savior all the time, going really intense with that. But what I'm trying to say is, we can do what we can with what we got, helping people along the way with anything. But when we cannot save everybody in the moment, and you're thinking, wow, I wish I had done this, I could have changed this drive to a shorter drive, or I could have turned this way, or I could have gone to this time, this town at a different time, and I just wasted that opportunity, and now I'm late, and this happened, and yada. But the thing is, when you think like that, one thing leads after another, and you're going to have these negative what ifs. What if I had done this earlier, or that? And you just don't get over the hump, and you just think, you're stuck. And so to help you all with this reflection I'm trying to share with you is to not overthink, to not overdo what you think you need to do. You're doing what you can, and you are helping the people around you. And yeah, I know I have my Christmas tree, my family's tree right here in the background. It looks great for this kind of video, the bench press, of course. But the idea is to celebrate with people, with everybody, as most people as you can. That's a blessing. To not give up, to at least have the invite for people to be there. To me, you're doing something good enough to that, where, okay, if people show up, they show up. And if they don't beat yourself over the head. And I would say our responsibility can only go so far. And what is beyond what you can do, well, then that's where your burnout comes into play as a person, a worker, a boss, etc. And everything else will fall down after that, because you are delaying other things just to meet that one demand. And when we put that goal so high, so far for us to reach, maybe that is hurting us more than helping us in some way. Now, people will say, well, why don't we consider this idea, just shorten the deadline by a few months? Say if you were to live life just a few more weeks and you wanted to accomplish all of your goals, what would you drastically do to do that? And I would say, do this and this to do that. But then you think about it, you're going to put yourself through so much stress to accomplish those goals. And so I think part of the idea of setting a goal, being realistic, but also remembering to be aware of what you can do and not do. And when you're able to accomplish what you can with the little things you did, to me, that's a victory. To do what you could with what you had. And I think so many adults, so many people like me, that we just want to do so much, and we think so often thinking, well, if I had only had this resource for somebody, I'd say, forget about it. It's okay. You're serving your purpose. You're serving what you can for people in that moment. And maybe there was a delay for that reason, so that way that person who would have been there at that meeting, maybe an argument would have started if they had known another person that was at that meeting. Maybe another circumstance was prevented because of other things that got in the way. And so blessings in disguise, I can argue, is the theme of the video, but also to consider not to throw yourself under the bus for the perfect thing. If it's good, Don't sacrifice the good for the perfect. Yes, we should strive to be great in what we do, but when we let go of the good and we wind up with nothing at the end, it's like, oh, I could have had something good. I could have had a beautiful wife, husband, girlfriend, family, but I threw it all away just because I kept pursuing, and finally, the final straw broke the camel's back, and now I'm left with nothing. And so for all of you here, so you don't be left with nothing, always remember, if there is something that feels like you should just take, I would say take it. And then move forward if you feel that is the right option for you to go. And always consider moving the next ladder if you feel you think you could accomplish it. And I would argue, people say, oh, well, are you playing safe? No. Because you want to understand where you're going to go. And if you have a plan to get it accomplished, go for it. Yes, there's complacency and people get lazy when they go for their jobs or their goals. But there's also the idea that, okay, what can I do and obtainable? What is reasonable? And within that reason, can I accomplish this right away? And so I think, just to sum up the video, to not overthink things. And when you have, try to help as many people as you could. You did your job. You're a good person. And so you are a hero in my eye. So that's from me, Mike the MC, to you all on a Sunday. I hope you're doing okay. Stay warm. I know I'm hoping for spring to be a little warmer wherever you are. For the season coming up, I know I maybe have a few more snow days for wherever you are, but just keep having fun, celebrate, watch football, the playoffs, and always remember, do what you can and don't beat yourself up. You got this. Be cool. Have a good one.